Hi, this is BB. I just woke up. I was having a dream about this voice to skull technology. This voice to skull technology. And now I don't know if the dream was put here by the person who's doing this to me or it's just a random dream. Because I don't trust what they do. See, when you're sleeping and you have this voice talking to you, and if you have more than one, your subconscious mind will start to come up with a scenario. And that's what it is. That's what they will do. This is why this person is following me. This is why the people are doing this to you. Like I said, the targeting that I'm going through is not seeing people drive in a car or these yellow red pickups or trucks or these white vans or whatever, anything red, anything calling out at me or honking a horn or saying pedophile or rapist or fat girl or whatever. It's nothing like that. I have had people knock on the window. I've had people come at my door asking for cigarettes. Their hands were already on my doorknob. I mean, when you go to somebody, you don't do that. You knock and you step back politely. That's what I do. I don't know what you do. Or you press the buzzer and you step back for them to open the door. You don't stand there with your hand on their doorknob, not unless y'all are really tight and close friends and you have a right to go in their house and you've been in their house before. You don't do that. And my entrance to my house is facing in the yard, not to the road. The back of the house is facing the street. Why would they come looking for cigarette? I don't know. Aside from that, this voice to skull. Now think about this. If you're looking for a job, if you're going to get employment, viable employment out there, you go, you're hopeful, you get a job, right? But this is like the final interview or something. You're all hopeful. It's a high-paying job. It'll be good for you. And next thing you know, you didn't get it. Now, if it happens more than once, I have a feeling it could be whoever is messing with you is messing with the interviewer. Why I say this, my neighbor was in here, the same one who hears this voice talking to her. And she told me it's the same voice I hear, she hears the same thing. Those were her words, not mine. And I believe her. Because she gets upset and she cusses out at the voice loudly. But so do I. I scream at it at the top of my voice. Because she doesn't stop. She doesn't stop. And I don't know, this is not where they're making money anymore. This is not about money. They have money. Now, bearing in mind, if they have money, why would they still do this? That's one. But getting back to the point with the interviewer, they're going to start to feel that, she was standing here and she was talking, then something she showed me and I was looking at it or something. And then I saw her eyes just kind of glazed over. And she kind of withdrew into her and she's like, ooh, fuck. And she's laughing, right? Because she's listening to the voice in her head and she's pissed off. But she can't explode with me here. And I felt sorry for her because I know it's something derogatory about me or something to get her to explode in front of me, the voice was prompting her to do. Now that's a grown woman. That's a grown woman. And I'm sure the people who are doing it are probably picking bones with her and telling her she's being childish. And they're probably picking bones with her in broad daylight. I don't know. What they're doing is not childish. They're grown adults. And they must remember that. Because they will be treated as grown adults. And they will be treated. Everything that goes at, no matter how much you lurk in the dark, That one of these days the sun is going to shine on it. One thing these people are afraid of most of all is exposure. They don't want to be exposed for what they do. Think about it. Everything they do is lurking in the dark, kept undercover, in the shadows, in your crawl spaces, in your attics, in your basements. Nothing comes to light. It's like a whole ring of shadow people. There's a whole ring of shadow people, and these are not innocents. These are the people who are the perverts. But what I feel, and if you go for that interview, that happens, something is wrong. Mark my words. They're messing, they just took an opportunity from you. Because people are new to this. They don't know what they're hearing. They think that they're just having a thought where their own thought process, like they're asking a simple question, and their own thought process is bringing up the answer. No. They got to be careful. Really careful. Because she's trying to pull this stunt on me. That ain't going to work. I'm a person who talks to myself, but I talk out loud a lot. And I know my own thought process. That's the thing. Always get to know yourself. Know how you answer yourself back. Know how your subconscious mind gives you the answer. Check for the pattern. And you'll know when it's coming from an outside source. Your subconscious mind is your connection to the divine or the divine consciousness. Nobody can take that from you, and nobody can take the place of it. Nobody can break the connection either. They can stand and go la 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 na 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 like the children they try to be. Because that's what they do. Like they stick their thumbs in their ear and stick their tongues out or go na 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 na. That's how that's the equivalent to these people's intelligence. All they have is I don't know how they got these things. I don't know. I think personally, nobody would give it to them. Because to do this is a weapon of destruction. It's not a weapon it's not anything to help. So I don't know if they raided some kind of military base. I don't know what they did. And then these things circulated. I don't know what they did. But I also know that the people who are doing this to me are smart, and they're trying to use my own voice and my mouth. What she's doing is pushing me, so that to say things out there, and so that the people who have possession of these things get so paranoid that they will come and they do something to me. This is what the boyfriend and her, this is their master plan. It was their master plan where we lived, and it didn't work. It was their master plan where we live, and it didn't work. But their master plan now is the same. Is to get me, put me in a corner, like paint me in a corner. They're hacking, they're taking away my business, messing with it, messing with me constantly, messing with my cat constantly, messing with my family, and where is leaving me no choice but to make this series of videos. So whoever else is out there and doesn't want to lose their freedom, they will take your freedom away. But they don't want to lose their freedom. They don't want to get caught for their crimes. Nobody's pinning anything on anyone. They don't want to get caught for their crimes. Now, who told them to go be a criminal? Who told them to commit crimes against humanity? I didn't. Did you? No. No. If you have a job and you don't do it well and you fuck up, you make big mistakes or you steal from the job or whatever, you know what, there's a chance of you getting fired, right? You're going to have to take it with a grain of salt. Why can't they live like that? Why do they have to feel superior? If they committed crimes, that's one thing. Why are they so afraid to get caught? That they will actually go to the extreme lengths now of killing the people who knows them or knows about them or has an idea of how this thing works. Why would they do that? Are they so afraid to pay for their own crimes? Do we have to be better than these people in every way? Because we are. We are. We know when we're doing something wrong. If we get found out, there's going to be a recompense. Somebody's going to pay the piper. We are better than these people on every level, and they know it too, and that's part of their seething hatred for us. Because our values are different. They don't have any. The only thing they value is money and the ability to mess with other people and to get away with it. That's what they hold dear above everything else. And I know that this is why she's pushing me. She and the boyfriend, this is their master plan. That my mouth for being outspoken is going to cause a problem. This is what they tried to do where I live, because I lived in a cottage, she lived in a cottage right next to each other. Now, all my lights kept going on one by one, and suddenly she's staying in the dark. It's almost like she was mimicking me. I don't know why. That wasn't for anything good, because if something great was coming to me like a big fat check, that would have come in the middle of the day, not in the middle of the night. The light cycle off and on would have nothing to do. It wouldn't influence them one bit. It wouldn't matter, would it? If somebody was going to do something good for me, let's say I won Publishers Clearinghouse, and somebody was bringing me one of those big checks, they would come in a day, they're not going to come at night. And they're not going to look to see if lights are on or off. That's bullshit. So bearing in mind, if you go for an interview and the person is hearing, they can spoil chances for us. This is why I said these people owe us. They owe us big time. They owe us. So not only have they stolen, they're stealing opportunities from us. They're taking away opportunities from us in present time. They're taking it away. Because for us to be successful, for us to be getting on with our lives, getting on our feet, after they stubbed their toes and we fell. See, that's the thing. Remember that. They're the ones who stubbed their toes and we fell. Some of us, when we mess up our own lives, we know that. It's like our friend said, taking a big shit on your head. She calls it defecation, self-defecation. This time it's not us. They're the ones who are trying to shit on us. This is all them. So don't blame yourself. This is all them. We're trying to do or get on with our lives, even though at some point it took a turn for the worse. That wasn't our fault this time. That wasn't our fault. That wasn't my fault at all. Not 100%. Because she's in my head now saying I called somebody something. I don't know what I did. She wants me to repeat it because it was said in my house. What they probably did was went and tell people, this is what she said, and she said, how would they know if they weren't hacking me? After all, her place was dark all the freaking time. For months it was dark. If she was in there, then something is wrong. See, they don't have anything on me. I was talking in my house, literally the confines of my walls. I could have theorized or surmised anything. And I want to look in her fucking face, in her eyes, and tell me something. I want her to look in my face, in my eyes. For 5 months, there's something called releasing of negative thoughts, negative energy. Like to set yourself free emotionally. It's called emotional. It's to release, like, you have patterns of like crapping on your head, of addictions, of just bad thoughts, bad memories, abusive situations, just to make yourself emotionally, mentally stronger. I would sit down like for sometimes 14 hours a day because I had fun. It was fun for me, and make these recordings. I could only record up to 10 minutes and send them to her. I used to record them and send them to her because I loved it. I love the feeling I got, because you can't release with someone. You can't just do the technique with someone and then you just they are the only ones who benefit. You benefit too, the person who is helping them. It's a beautiful technique. I used to do it for her, make the recordings, and I used to be talking in my house because I assumed because we live so close she could hear me. But then I had a big 55-inch TV, and I would turn it up with something motivational. In the middle, like about 8 o'clock at night, it was dark, and it was silent, is what I'm trying to say. Silent, no noise, no nothing. It was silent, and I would turn up the volume sometimes to 70, 50, 60, 70. And I would go past her cottage, take my garbage out. When I stand near her cottage to hear if she can hear, I couldn't hear anything. I had to go close up before I could even make out what the TV was saying. And even then, I couldn't make out everything. And I'm talking about people clapping and cheering and the loud noise, right? And I realized she couldn't really hear anything like that. And I was like, what am I wasting my time, you know? I thought that she liked me. I was a real fool. I believe in like a bond, right? It's almost like a bond where you have a strong love connection. Like you would see some couples who would say their partner, they know when there's something wrong. They know when they can feel them, they can sense them. I thought the woman really liked me, and that was the bond. You heard people say that. You know when your lover is in trouble, or your lover is not feeling. You don't even have to be around them, and you pick up their energy, because we're all energy. Scientists say energy. I speak. The religious leaders call this the Holy Spirit. Take your pick. Bada boom, bada bing. Tomatoes. It doesn't matter. It's a consciousness, and it's alive. So people have said that. So I thought I was such a fool. I thought that was it. I thought that was it. But then when, like I said, I spoke to psychics, and the psychics said, they're recording you. And I'm like, why were they recording me? They said, they're just recording everything you say. Don't know why. But the thing is, watch yourself. If you go for an interview, you go for something, watch the person's reaction, and you'll know if they're listening to something. And let me ask you a question. If you don't get the job, before you leave, say, were you hearing a voice? Then bring to their attention this voice, the skull, voice of God. Said, I have a feeling this is what you were listening to. Bring awareness. Let's go on a campaign to do that. Bring awareness to this, so that they will start to get other people to see this. Bring awareness to it. The technology exists, and it's in the wrong hands of some people. And the government needs to do something about it. Now. Now. We don't have tomorrow, we have now. They have to do something about it. Peace.